Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. There have been a few changes made. I change things every day. It's something I've always, for some reason, always done. Uh, change things around. I'm not. There's probably a name for that. You know, I probably have something mental. I don't know. Um, so I guess maybe I should put a little banner at the top of this thing that says I've changed things. It just appears automatically when I appear. As you see above Howard's notebook, I'm wondering, should that be Show Me Blog or should it be Howard's notebook? In 1982, when I started a bulletin board system, it was called Howard's notebook. I'm not sure when I started using Show Me Blog. I mean, I've used them interchange. It depends on what I and I just started putting something at. Well, I mean, in the past I played around with stuff occasionally, but I just started, doing it here really. And I like the time and date because I think that helps a lot for you all that I mean, you can look down below, and if you're looking at a YouTube video, and you can, you can see. But I think that's good. I'm not sure the Howard's notebook. I think, though, and I may change my mind on this, that over here, I think I'm going to stop. I think I came up with too many of these screens. I think I've gotten carried away with too many of these screens. So I think I'm going to do more talking. Well, I know you're going, oh my God, not more talking. Jesus Christ, man. But I think I'm going to do more talking and less trying to, and I'll hold something up if, I'll hold something up and, that I'm talking about or that's interesting or something like that. But I think I'm going to talk more and not try necessarily to throw in. But I'm thinking about when I am over in an area like this, that maybe what I'll do is I could put like the link to go to purchasing something from Amazon where I would get a commission if somebody did, and other stuff like that, at the top, and have them time out. Now that would be a little thing that I would have to maybe with your help figure out. So they're maybe on their left top and right top, like it is here, maybe a different color, different colors or whatever, so maybe something would time out, like, please make a donation and then a link or something. And then it would time out after a certain amount of time. Maybe it should be smaller than what's up there now. And maybe it should just be one across or something. But they would time out automatically after a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, something like. Try to come up with the correct, solution to that. And then if the software here will allow me to make another one that comes in automatically, when that one ends after 5 minutes, say, and then the next one would come in after, and would come in and would be a different one. And I could have maybe a whole set of, so if you're watching if you're watching the video, then you get some messages from me. Make a donation. Here's a really good deal on something, or stuff like that. Not the way other sites do it, and not the way damn CNN. A third of the page of the CNN website is advertisements. Let's see. Yeah, now, okay, CNN, that's what I was gonna, okay, so I was talking to you about CNN, and Russia tries to destroy a U.S.-made air defense system in the Ukraine. Sounds like an episode or two from the TV show The West Wing. The president, deployed a unit into some area, and then as soon as when the hardware got there, missiles or whatever it was, of course there would be, military security personnel, but in the West Wing episode, all of a sudden it is hit, and a whole bunch of U.S. military people are killed or injured, and then they're discussing it in the TV show, well, why was the attack done? We moved such and such in there. Why was the attack done why was it done then? And then the military advisors or the military generals or whoever it is says, because they were waiting for troops to get in, or your troops to get in there so they could hit them. So we do need to support, and we are, the world, the nation, except for Donald Trump and some right-wing Republicans, I guess. But the world, the free countries of the world, have been supporting the Ukraine, which we need, we need to do. And this it's really an entirely, it's a dangerous situation. It's been dangerous for for Russia, and man, it's really hurt their reputation, their military reputation or whatever. It has shown them how weak they are, and how their system doesn't work. Now, by the way, I'm a liberal Democrat, and I'm not happy with our way our system works over here either. Our members of Congress are bribed, and now we know that we've always held the Supreme Court in high regard, and so Okay, why am I a little uncomfortable using that? I guess I've been so used to having, you know, uh, two monitors and then keeping the Manicam that I use off, basically off of the screen so you wouldn't see it. And so I guess I have to kind of work around that. Uh, but so my desk behind me, where this Dell computer was set up, I'm now going to use it to like a workbench, and I've got the B-Link that was here computer on the desk over there, and as soon as I can find my little thing that has all the little tiny screwdrivers in it I'm going to open that up and see what in the world can I add to it. I'm really happy with this Dell computer, a $200 computer. I'll put the link below or something or other. And you don't have to buy specifically that one. You can go look at they have them refurbished. And, maybe get one that's, has more than the $200 computer. I'm happy with it. But when I'm always thinking about things, and usually it messes me up somehow. And a bunch of you told me, and you are correct, Jim, just, get it, it's working, leave it alone. But I can't, and it's 1982 with the bulletin board system, I kept improving it, kept changing it. I would run, at first I wrote my own BBS program. And then when somebody came around who didn't know anything about it, but he was Tom, he was a graduate of KU in electrical engineering or whatever, and he happened to call in. And then he was like, I've mentioned this before, wow, that's amazing. And what kind of hardware are you using stuff in it with? So then he said, I'd like to see it, I'd like to see the setup and everything. And I said, well, it's a Radio Shack Model 1 computer, and a tape recorder for saving and loading programs, that I said, except for the extremely floppy devices that I have. And he had actually, I'm not sure if he designed those, but I know he wrote the software for those for companies, and I was using his operating system, and because it came with, the little tiny, they were about the size of a business card, but they were a real small tape on a loop. And I think I had 3 of them, maybe 4. And, he had written the software, and so I could send, data to one of these devices. They were really, really small. And because the Radio Shack Model 1 came with a Radio Shack cassette tape recorder, so anyway, he came over, and then I said, well, yeah, you come on over, you can see. I said, there's nothing to see, But he came on over, and then, I showed him the code for the BBS program that I wrote. And then he said, could I have this? I said, sure, I'll print it out here for you, whatever, gave it to him. And about 4 or 5 days later, he called and said, could I come over? I wrote a BBS program for you. And he took and converted that. He didn't make a lot of changes to it, but he made, he made important ones. As soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, I'm never, writing code. I'll just pay somebody, you know, I'll buy a program. I'm not sure there was any. Yeah, there was, because it just happened in Kansas City, Missouri, where I was, when the Radio Shack Model 1 came out. A guy wrote a BBS program for it, and he just happened to live in the greater Kansas City, Missouri area. And so that was great, you know, because then you had to make, you had to make long distance phone calls, and it was, the phone company was, man, man were they greedy, and man were they, you know, like, you will obey us. You are not allowed to run an extension cord. We have to send our man out to run the extension cord, and you're not allowed to do this, and you're not allowed to do that. But anyway, this guy, you know, wrote this great BBS program. It was being used all over, you know, for the Radio Shack Model 1. But he was an asshole. I mean, but that was good. One, for a couple of things. One, it was good because I never wanted to be like him. So instead of, you know, wanting a whole bunch of people, I think, other people, and with other softwares or whatever, they probably wanted to be like the guy that did such and such. I did not want to be like that guy who would jump on people. He was continuously writing, you know, improving his BBS program, of course. And I logged in one day, and I would log in just occasionally because there was, I think I was like number 3, you know. Gradually there turned out to be a lot of bulletin board systems. But like I logged in one day, and I was typing an email or something, or doing something like that, and boom, he pops into chat. You know, what in the hell are you doing? Are you fucking crazy? I'll ban you, or whatever. Oh shit, what did I do? You know, what have I done? You know, I said, well, what did I do? You're not supposed to hit the courage return return. He said, I just added that feature. You just keep typing. You don't hit enter. And he said, if you do that anymore, I'm going to kick you off. And I said, okay, I won't do it anymore. But I made up my mind. I did not want to be like him, and I wasn't. So that was a good thing that he did for me. And then the other good thing he did for me, like when I ordered the first modem, I didn't know what a modem did. It was like, you know, a computer magazine that had ads in the back for, you know, a modem for Radio Shack or something like that, or used RS-232 port, and I didn't know any of this shit, you know. And I guess the Model 1 Radio Shack had an RS-232, you know, port or something. But I ordered in a modem, and I didn't know anything about it, and it came, and that's before I started the BBS program, you know. And then I happened to mention it, because he was jumping in chat all the time, you know. Then I happened to mention, and for some reason, okay, Apple computer, well, I guess he used RS-232 port. And I guess maybe an Apple computer didn't have an RS-232 port, or they had their own port, which maybe wasn't RS-232 or whatever, you know. So I happened to, and I just bought it, and I couldn't get into the Apple computer system site. And so I think I figured it out myself, looking around at computer magazines. Oh, they don't use that port. So then I looked in the ads or whatever, and saw one that they all use the same port or something or other. So then I ordered in that modem. You would not believe how much money over the, you know, starting at 300 baud and 1200 baud, and you would not believe how much I spent just on modems. But so anyway, I ordered in one, and a new one, you know, and it said that it did AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, American Automobile Association. Well, I don't know, you know. And so I mentioned to him this guy. I can't remember his name. I can't even remember the name of. But anyway, I said, well, I just got this new modem in and it does AA. What's that? And he says, that's auto answer. You know what that is? I said, no. And I said, well, how can I use that? Okay, well, we didn't have hard drives then. You had a floppy drives, and the floppy disks were like this big, and they held like 360K of stuff on it. That was it. And then Radio Shack came out with the floppy drive, and it held 760 or something like that of K, not megs, or anything like that. But so anyway, I asked, and he said, well, he didn't say hard drive because we didn't have hard drive. How many drives do you have? And I don't have any. I'm using a tape recorder. God damn. Okay, well, here's what you have to do. You have to peek into memory, 722, whatever it was, something like that. I was like, what? And then he asked me a few more questions about my hardware. And he said, you can't run a bulletin board. I really wasn't planning on running a bulletin board. So he says, I forget exactly what he said, you're too fucking stupid. And I said, oh, okay, well, I wasn't a kid. I'm using a kid's voice, but, it was 1982 or whatever. And I was born in 1941, so I said, okay. And then Radio Shack Model 1 came with a thing that taught you basic, Or it just told you it wasn't their design, I think, to teach you, but, so okay. If you enter this code, when the phone rings, it would take it off the phone. And so, I put that in there, and then when the phone would ring, it would go off, And I thought, okay. And then it might have been the next day. If I send this, a message will appear for those people on there if they're connecting, And so I did that, and welcome to Howard's Notebook, and then that'd be for that day, and then the next day I'd get the, open it up, and before long, it was saying, welcome to Howard's Notebook, and it was saying, please enter your name, and then enter your password, and just that kind of stuff. And I wouldn't have done that, and I wouldn't have had all the fun that I had from computer bulletin board systems and things that happened, the people I met, all that type of stuff. I wouldn't have had it if that asshole had, But a whole bunch of the people, if you watch BBS, I'll put a link below to it, by the way. It's free. The guy made the thing, put out the DVDs and that kind of stuff, and he put it in the public domain, and so Radio Shack. So on YouTube you can watch it, the entire video. You'll see me in there very few times. If you added all my little things where I said something, I got the biggest laugh though when I went to the preview in California at a computer museum. Right away, Jason came over and said, Jim, he says, you've come the longest distance. You came from Florida here, so you're the long. And he says, also, by the way, he said, you got the biggest laugh, on this DVD, on the thing where he says, now he says, I've got everything ready to burn DVDs, but he said, I wanted to check with you first. I'll take that out of that. I said, I don't even, I said, I'm fine with it. And he said, well, do you want to, I said, no, I don't need to see it. So anyway, then over the years, I went through, I changed from software, from computer to, no, I stuck pretty well, no. Radio Shack Model 1, a VIC-20, Commodore VIC-20, Commodore 64, great. I had a bunch of those. One of the people on the DVD says, that, he used a Commodore 64 for his thing, and he says you could put a Commodore 64 in your closet and it would repair itself. And I went through all these different, softwares and software and BBS programs after I wrote my own. Once I saw what Tom Wheeler could do, I thought, no way, because it was just over my head. A lot of things over my head. So how long have I been talking? Almost 30 minutes. And I'm not sure if I'm going to get around to it today or not. I hope so. Over there on the, I want to open up the P-Link. Well, I got to find that'll be all night or maybe 2 days, to find a little kit that has really tiny little screwdrivers in there that you can unscrew little tiny screws, and and then you have some things you can like pry things with it. And it's here someplace, but I think you can barely see over here in the corner. There's 1, 2, 3, there's 4 of those, and I have some more someplace else. And it's just, and then there's the closet, and then by the front door, there is, it's filled up with stuff up there. But I want to go through this and see what I can add to it. An SSD drive. I have some of that stuff here already. In fact, really for the first time with the Dell computer, I hooked up a device so I can put an SD card. Right now I have 128 in it. And now, God, 1 terabyte are inexpensive. But I also hooked up external that plugs into a USB port, and it's a 1 terabyte SSD device. Anyway, you don't have to tell me what you think, but because right now I think I'm happy with, at the top. Except maybe I'd want to leave the time, the date and the time. I think that's a good thing to have up there. And because a lot of times you go to a YouTube site, you can look below, but also even that, if you look below, that just tells you when the person uploaded it. It doesn't tell you when what you're watching was made. And I want to have on here the date, and the time, and that type of stuff. But I might, I'm going to kind of keep that. I may make it smaller at the top, or do something. And then I need to work on, these other things. Oh, wow. We're kind of low on food right now, but we're getting an order in delivered to, we haven't placed the order yet. But we'll place it, that Darlene will place the order later, and it'll be probably delivered about 8 o'clock in the morning. So I think I've only got I think I only got about less than 10 cans of Coke to make it through the night. That's an emergency. So yeah, I think the things above. So, but anyway, I'm going to work on, as soon as I can find the right tools that I need, I'm going to do it with the right tools and see what I can do to improve the B-Link. And then, oh, one thing too I was thinking about, which I think you know, probably not a good idea. Oh, no, first this. What I've thought about now is sitting here with one monitor, and I've usually been running like 2 monitors. But because my desk has been able to be cleared off a little bit, I'm thinking about moving the monitor like over here on my to my desk, and that would also allow me to use the, where is it? I don't know where it is. That thing that I've talked about, which has never worked out for me, the audio thing. That would allow me to put it like right in the middle of the desk, and then the Elgato Wave 3 microphone would be, there, because it's definitely, the closer I am to the microphone, the better the audio, I think. Except my voice. I've got to get in to see a doctor about my voice and my throat. I got about 4 doctors at least I need to get in to see. Oh, if you watch, some videos about the Galaxy 10e or whatever, I've given that back to my daughter who gave it to me, $1,000 cell phone, and now she needs them for her work. I mean, well, she doesn't need more than one, I think. Well, she thinks she may. Well, I don't know. She's able to. Can't believe she's my daughter. She's so extreme in so many areas. I mean, not politically at all. But, so she has no telling how many, cell phones that she's moved up to, advanced to. She bought herself, a Galaxy 10 X or whatever. Oh, since I put it away, because I'm giving it back to her. Anyway, she bought one for her son, grown son. And then but in the past, she'd gone through I don't know how many devices and moved on to the bigger and better things or whatever. And she gave it to me, and I thought, wow, what a fantastic device. But honestly, I don't need that. I don't need that kind of power. I don't need to have to learn that kind of, stuff. Well, I think within the last few days, not blue. Okay, we got to do this, guys. I'm sorry. No. Where do I want to go? I want to go to Amazon. Okay, where's the... oh, I tell you. Terrible to get old. No, it's not on here because I haven't ordered it yet. You get next day delivery. Okay, let's go here. Okay, here it is. It's brand new. No, it's not. This is the one from a couple years ago. Delete this. Oh, here it is. Or is this the case? That's the case for. Come on, put. Well, anyway, it's the Moto G stylus, but it's the that's on the screen there is the 2021. Wait a minute. Okay, it's not there. So it's the 2023 version that just came out, and it's $200. So that's all I need. Now it's a stylus, and I really don't need the stylus. I do like the stylus thing, but I never did it. I had a Motorola G stylus before. I forget which version it was, and I just used the stylus like a fingertip or something, you know. So I'm gonna get one of those, and I'm returning the other cell phone. You know, oh, by the way, on this, well, let me switch here. Hang on here a second. Okay, by the way, I don't need, this is on my wish list. I do not need the case for this. By the way, I am going to be ordering this, but not since I'm going to be spending $200 for a new cell phone. I won't be ordering it for a while. I live on a very limited income because I ordered in, I'm not sure if it's the same one, but I ordered in this, you know, the control panel and everything, and it worked really well. I'm not sure it was this exact one, but I think they're all kind of basically the same. But I ordered it really quickly off of Amazon, and I thought that it came with the microphone. But what it turned out is they will sell you just the, you know, the control unit, or you can buy the control unit and get the microphone or whatever. So I returned just the, so I was planning on buying, you know, this and hooking it up and using it, although this microphone works okay, but you know, just think of all the things I could do, little sounds that I could make. Drive you guys fucking crazy, right? So, and I love stuff. When I want something, I want it, you know, but, you know, the Moto G has, you know, like next day delivery. And, but so far as actually using the, even with the, whatever I had here, that I'm not having anymore, Galaxy 10X or something. I gotta go. I hear the ex-wife calling and asking if I'm awake. Okay. Yes, I want a hamburger. Did you hear me?
Yeah, you want one?
I want one.
Yeah, he said yeah. No, I don't want one.
Anyway, yeah, I do need that. Except that wouldn't have stopped. That wouldn't have stopped that. My ex-wife, and we've been divorced for, let's see, how long we've been divorced. I was 26 when I got married. She was 18. We were married for 12 years. So you add 12 to, what do we do? We're adding 12 to, yeah, I was 26. Add 12 to that. So it would be 20, it would be 8, would be plus 10, would be 38 years. Oh, I think I've been like 40. I think my math is wrong someplace. But so I'm 82. We have been divorced since I was like 40 years old. God help me. she's confined to a wheelchair. When we got married, she was what am I looking for? No, I'm not looking for that. Or am I? Yeah, I was looking for that. I'm looking for my, no. I think I need to bring this up. Yeah, this is what I need to bring up. Oh God, my mind is going. So, what was I going to say? Can't remember now. Oh, one thing I thought about now is moving this one over here, and I would have space. I have space for my keyboard and my medicines, which as you can see, I can't lie about the time. It's almost 6 p.m. and I haven't taken my morning medications yet, and I haven't taken my night medications yet. But so that's one thing I'm thinking about doing. I think I will do that. And that's going to give me, and I could put that screen here, and then the microphone would be in front of me too. Of course, I would be looking over at the the monitor to see when I'm showing you something or whatever. And the other thing, I think this room has improved greatly over the time you've been watching these videos and stuff. A lot, and I've had for the first time, because I put this table back there and a computer back there, and then have the computer up here, and for the first time I've had people say, oh, nice setup, But what I've thought about doing is, right over here is a shelf type thing or whatever, What I'm thinking about doing is bringing back that table, which is identical to this table here in front of me, and putting it right here. And then I could just swing around maybe at now, please stop me from doing it, because that actually is working out good. It looks good, and I've got room to walk easily, through here. The changes that I made to try to better organize stuff and give me room to get around in or whatever, has actually, after all these years, made an improvement. So I got to leave that alone, and leave that alone. But I think here, after I finish this video and have my hamburger, I am going to move this monitor over here. But the little tiny Dell is sitting here, and it has a very short power cable. Of course, a plug-in, one of those plug-ins for, and I have a whole bunch of those cables, and I have long ones and I have short ones, and this one has a short one on it, so, I'd have to power down, of course, and put a longer power. It just barely makes it to the plug-in. So I guess that's what I'm going to do. I do appreciate any of your suggestions and things like that. Thank you very much. There are people, by the way, not a lot, but there are people who used to log into my bulletin board system back in like 1982 or a few years after that. Yeah, it happens. And some of them, like I never knew, and they said, oh yeah, and then they talk about it or remind me of, stuff. Some of them made donations, a long time ago. in the beginning, you got some donations and of money, and several people bought me cameras. Person bought me a bicycle. I mean, but then eventually, everybody everybody has, you know, a computer. Everybody has a camera. Everybody's on YouTube and all these other places. So people still donate. I mean, not much. Fairly recently, a long-time person, and he remembers back in the bulletin board system days and everything. He sent me some shirts. You know, you've seen them. My Sputnik. Maybe our current situation with with Russia is not a good idea for me to be wearing a Russian shirt or whatever, but and other stuff like that. So. Anyway, I do appreciate all your help and support, and it's really great to hear from, you know, please remind me when you do, you know, if you're one of the old timers and you're not one of these young whippersnappers, you know, just remind me maybe that, hey. So anyway, thank you very much for watching.